whenever you crush the wave, there is certain time that you have to do something. So right now, how we measure how much time is, you wanna look at your wave behind you. This is what is your wave. So opposite wave is here too. So right now, Malzahar have this. When you enter the game, do you consider any kind of factors?
Not really.
Okay, then after today you will.
Okay.
I will make it really step by step, so it's gonna be quite easy to understand. One thing, when you enter to the game, make sure that you compare your summoner spell to the opponent's summoner spell. You wanna mostly know if they have Ignite or Teleport. If they have Ignite, they have more kill potential and they are more scary toward you early game. If it's TP versus TP, then it's usually more chill. I personally like to play versus players who have Ignite because the advantage of my TP can really make their lane a hell. Because what often happens is that we will push and at some point we're gonna be but they're gonna be lower sustain too. Then you recall, you TP back, and you're full health, fresh items. At the same time, the guy is half mana and stuff like it. This game you have Ari with cleanse, so it means she doesn't have the comfort like you do to come back to the lane. We will see how you could use it this game, and I will explain. But that's already something that is cool. I have TP advantage. TP advantage means I can really abuse it to keep opponent on the lane. I will try to tell you how in this game. Second thing is gonna be jungle tracking. We will see in a moment. And I will tell you because this will help a ton. I will for now move we just look on the minimap. And okay, we look top and the bot. Do you see this guy here, the set?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so set wasn't leashing to the Talon because he showed first on the lane. If he showed first to the lane, that means bot lane is leashing right now to the Talon. So Talon, this game is gonna path from the red buff to the blue buff. So it's like 1, 2, 3, basically bot to top, and then later he will end up being on the river. So right now when we are this Malzahar, we have to be really careful from the gank from this area. After that around 2:30, depending when we will have time. Malzahar first word would like to be something around there or around there. Not this one, not this one. These words don't provide enough info, so there is a risk of being flanked by the Talon. So the number one thing is, number two, you need to clearly know where the enemy jungler started, because that will incredibly help you to know where to hover. At the beginning you hover left, then you ward the left. Once he will be around this area, which will be around 2:30. Maximally you should ward third minute, but it's even better to ward a bit earlier just to ensure that he's not gonna come to you sooner. So why the junglers go to the river is because at the 3:30 they have a scuttler, and every good jungler would like to get a scuttler around the 3:30 timer. So the first gank will have a place before or after 3:30 timer. So that's why we ward a bit beforehand. I would recommend 250 should be max, but we'll see when there is gonna be time. Or some questions, or for now clear?
No, I got you. It's clear.
Okay. So now the main thing, laning. Do you usually push like you do right now?
Yes, I usually try to get the push.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. So there are two good things coming out of it. First of all, you're not gonna get shoved under the turret, so it's easier to last hit. Second of all, you will get level 2 before the opponent, and that means you will have more priority. Priority, better push, more pressure on the opponent. So, to me, what I would like to achieve with you minimum is that you don't have to crazy push into them, but that you will make sure that they can't crash into you, and that I'm happy with it. Because if they crash into you, then you lose prio, they can look to invade your jungler and stuff. For now, looks fine. Do you know where is the level 2? When level 2 is?
The first minion after and the second wave.
Yes, melee, yeah. Melee minions.
Yeah.
Already one thing, bro. You okay, let's watch for now. It's just I'm looking how you hover and stuff. How is your CS? 8 to 8. Let me verify the CS in that case. Okay. For now I see there is no struggle in pushing by you. And now this is gonna be pretty interesting moment. Actually, especially this is one of the most important moments for this lane. And let's verify what you will do. Okay, okay. That's gonna be the first thing to improve the laning phase so much more. So what you basically did, you need to understand, you have a priority right now. Priority means that you have more of the lane. We see it, right? You have more of this lane. Now, once you crash this wave, you gotten something. And what we call it is you gotten, we can say timer, ROM timer, whatever. The fact is, there is the next wave. There is your next wave. So now you have time in between until opponent will crash and will catch this wave. What should we do with this time proactively? So now you press scoreboard. You see you have almost 2 out of 2 wards. So where should you ward after the info I told you about from the start? Now do you know where you should ward?
The top side.
Yes.
River.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you know what's good about it is that you have long timer. Right now you have more time. So it means you can walk, and genuinely, if it was me, I would ward like this. Because then you see this and you see this. There is no chance to flank you. You understand?
Yep.
So this one, and if the wave was like here and the minions were dying, I wouldn't tell you to go and ward like this, because you would lose the minions. So you can, the deeper you can ward, it depends when the more time you have. Do you have a lot of time? I mean, you have good time because there is nothing of those minions dying. The faster they die, the less time, but they are not even attacking. You see what I mean?
Yep.
So go for it. That's the first step. Use the timer, micro time. Use this micro time between to do something proactive. So this is already one big thing. Let's see further on. I mean, it is possible to keep up with that push. What worries us is the top side. Because what you can do in your games is at the same time, in many games you can look to get the push around 320, have a vision beforehand here, and rotate to your jungler with your jungler and secure the scuttler with the push that you're creating. I'm not saying this game it's gonna be good, because it really depends what's going on. With this guy you cannot. But in other game, you can think about 330 mark, like, okay, I push and I push to get prio for my jungler scatter. That's something you can look as a goal, which is really like universal. You don't struggle much with the push with CS, which is cool. It's not going really bad. It's just what worries me right now, you know, is this all the time. Because rather Shaco will die or rather you will get ganked. Okay, you have 2 out of 2 wards. So the vision is one big thing at the moment, but When we get 2 out of 2 wards and you are slowly losing the priority of the wave, which means opponent have more of the wave, I recommend that you put 1 ward in front of you, but not in the range that you can get poke. So this ward can expand you this fog of war if she would crash the wave into you. So we put the ward on the center of the lane, or just literally just on the wave, on the lane, to expand the fog of war and track the opponent next step. If it's recall, you can stop the recall because you see it thanks to this ward. If it's rotation, you can rather match the rotation after receiving the wave or ping to your team. So the warding of the warding lane to have a better tracking of opponent. So when I'm losing the vision on my lane, in short words, that's as well a good thing. And argument here to do it, 2 out of 2 wards, slowly a bit losing the push, so just put 1. Because 2 out of 2 is never efficient. 1 out of 2 is okay. 2 out of 2 doesn't recharge anymore, so you want to have to use it. So here, if it would be me, I would insta put it, because I know in a second I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna be curious. I mean, unless you respawn, but the situations like this are gonna happen 100%. For now, looks quite chill. Usually when you play Malzahar, it's not gonna be that much about the winning crazy fights with the guys, but winning through the wave management. Right now, if it would be me, I would aim to get E here, and I would hope that it bounces here. So then I would add up the W, and it's like the fight that you guys have is the fight for the prio, for the wave control. And basically what was going on before is you was pressing a lot of fuel on her. Now she's starting to add more gas, more fuel into your wave. So I need you to do the same, if you can. You have still enough mana. I would try personally to do EW before. And let's see the trait. Why you're gonna get poked is because if you're Ari, this Malza puts himself next to the wall. So this guy will need to click like this, rather like this or like this, which he becomes really good target for her. So if I draw you the chessboard, what happens is, look, when you click here, if I'm Ari, I will look to cut your arrow, the arrow that you click, which is a really good spot. So you shouldn't at the first place put yourself next to the wall, but you wanna be more in a more flexible spot, which you would be normally here. This is a really good spot. Be really careful of the spaces here and the spaces here. These are really, really dangerous to play. Too many walls to play. So we really need to be careful of putting ourselves below the opponents, because if you put yourself below, above usually have an easy time punishing. That's what happened. Be careful to not. If you're above, it's so much harder to look to poke you. You see? Here, before. If there would be goal for the laning, it would be to still maintain the wave. So let's see how you do. I see you are adding the spells. This is not gonna work, I think. So maybe it would. You might get charmed. So the issue with ganking Malzahar early is the champion doesn't have that much burst, so even though you did all the spells, you don't have any spells when you walk. And remember, we mages, we play around our spell rotations. So your attacks sadly don't do much. So even though it seems like you're about to win it, the most important is, it's like playing chess game. How many moves this guy have right now compared to you? He's stronger. You don't have your spell rotation. So if you ever wonder, hey, how do I become better at trading? Then I would tell to the student who I start with, you pay attention when they use their spells. And if they wasted their spells and you have them up, that's your best momentum. And if you used all of the spells and they have them, that's where you need to be more conscious. Yeah, careful, basically. So that's like spell rotations. Tracking enemy cooldowns will automatically improve the fight. Here, Malza approaches without the spell yet. And maybe if he was ready to flash it away and Q, no, but she have flash. That we shouldn't. We just shouldn't. And from the other hand of view, from the other point of view, if look, I have found out something actually more. What you can do after this is, you can. I mean, you don't have even mana for the E. You can normally just walk back, press B. Okay, why? Because my friend, you TP back on how much gold? You have lost chapter. You TP back, you get lost chapter. Once what happens? You shove this wave, this guy is forced to reset. He will lose 2 waves. He's behind 2 waves. That's how you wanna use the TP in early game. Don't feel bad when you guys are both low to step back, recall, TP back, because this way, when they don't have TP, you will have a hostage. In short words, you will create a hostage on your lane that you can perma shove into and soak advantage out of them. So here, instead of the risk, you click back, you recall, TP back, enjoy. Enjoy bullying. She needs to lose this whole cannon wave. Let's see if you will TP. A good player here would instantly reset. She is stupid. Because she doesn't take to the consideration that you have TP. And the moment you TP, her game is over. Or at least she'll lose a ton. And you here, you need to TP instantly. And now you push hard. And there is one thing that I would like to adjust. So, alright, you just saw her walking into the fog of war. So the point is, think about them being in fog of war. If you're this Ahri, you really need to reset. Okay, I agree, you will do EW on the wave. But why don't you do few steps closer and put a ward or even just walk? And what if she recalls here? If you press Q and she walks and you stop her reset, she will lose even more. So that's what we call stopping the opponent's tempo. We want to expand the fog of war, and that's why we put those wards in front to potentially stop the resets. Because if you stop the guy reset, they are so doomed. You get this concept?
Yep. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's why when you TP and they are lower, you instantly wanna be like a hard bully. You wanna keep an eye on them. If they can't reset, oh my god, they will want to FF. And look, was that possible to stop? In my opinion, yes. But you would walk here. You don't see. Okay, you just did EW. You keep walking. You see her. You approach there, like there. You do. I mean, you are able to land a Q with max range and to stop her without getting turret shot. Yeah, and this way she just in short words loses more. So we want when we know the guy was about to reset, but we don't know when or where. Sorry, where. We push, but we at the same time put ourselves in the position that expands the fog of war. That's like shortly said. But yeah, she made mistakes. She still loses a plenty of the wave. Now, we need to really focus because that's gonna be the biggest cheat code on the silo. Whenever you crash the wave, there is certain time that you have to do something. So right now, how we measure how much time is, you wanna look at your wave behind you. This is where is your wave. So opposite wave is here too. So right now Malzahar have this amount of time until the next wave. What this guy can do with it? Well, let's think. How much gold? Not enough to reset. 2 out of 2 wards. Okay. So he have 2 out of 2 wards. He have 1 already. Genuinely, there are few options. It can be rather plate or vision. I would personally look to greet 1 fast plate and I would spawn the voidlings and get 1 plate. After this, I would walk up and I would do the deep vision here. So I ensure I have good vision around me when I'm gonna perma shove on her from now on. If I knew I didn't have enough time to get a plate because if I knew she's already walking to the lane and I knew she'll be there in like 5 seconds, then I would go for a ward instantly. But she just recalled right now. So that's why I would like to greet this plate. But basically, when could I roam? Well, could I roam right now? There is no people, but what you just need to understand to start seeing is this is a lot of time still until the next wave. So that can be used in many ways depending on what is available on the map. So in short words, whenever you crash the wave, you check where is the next wave behind you, because that is the same for the opponent. After this, you ask yourself, can I reset and get something cool? Can I do good vision? Can I do some kind of rotation / maybe dragon with the team? This kind of stuff. Okay? And this already gonna be really, really big, because you will start to create more proactive playstyle. Because right now, you see, you just click like a zombie a bit. You're behind, waiting. But in that case, that could be deep vision this. And that's already so much better with this time used. 2 out of 2 all the time. Maybe use AFK, I don't know.
Ah, my goodness, it looks like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Going for the wards when you have time.
Yeah.
Like that.
We'll see how much it will develop further. Your combos are okay on the wave from what I'm seeing. Let me just ensure. Yeah, it looks okay. Right now, at some point there is a moment on the laning when both of you guys will have really good wave clear. And when this will have a place, it's like you will fast push, but she will fast receive. So okay, let me see this one more wave. Let's see how fast you guys will get it. This word could be avoided before, but it's fine. Okay. So I would still put one word on the center when both of the players, 8 minute plus, I would say, to 10. The better items you guys have, the faster you will shove the wave. So whenever you guys will exchange the wave, the center is gonna be dark. That's as well when I put one on the front, so you provide better info for your teammates of where she will potentially go. Okay, like this, and potentially stopping the resets. So that's another thing. Let's see how you will get picked, because that was pretty confusing for me. It looks like you forgot about her, because she was going to you, but if you really wanted to go back like this, then you need to do this. But she's cutting you again. If you look at it from this point, if every good player will try to match your move. And look, if you was her, I mean, yeah, it's just, it's not enough, yeah. That was such a good charm. Okay, one thing I can actually give tip for. You had one small chance here. If you was aware that she's right following you right after, then you would need to spawn Void Link below you. This way you can block the skill shots,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You can use it like this. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect with the time, but when you come back here, now you should at least put the Void Link here when you go. And if you will try to rotate, you need to take to the consideration if you didn't shove them really deep there, they will try to follow you most of the time. And Malzahar is really vulnerable at when he's looking for rotations, so we have to be really careful when we do it. This charm like went max hitbox. Because away from it, how you shove and stuff is okay. It just, there is lack of... 2 times how you got picked by her was by, like, how to explain? Like, losing the focus for a second, or just maybe you was really focused on this, and you didn't consider what she will do. If you are her, she pushed the wave. Like she almost pushed the wave, so she can right after follow you or cut you out from there. And she's stronger because she is assassin champ, mage with strong one single spell rotation. Your champion is good with multiple spell rotations. So that's the issue. Like Malzahar doesn't have this damage in that hard damage input. But if you will use W, then it's get better. But let's see. And then you came back. You couldn't. Let's see what you buy. Really long waiting for the bases. You buy amplifying here and shoes, and you leave instantly.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
I would do shoes and amplifying and why I wouldn't do the codex is because if we give you movement speed, easier to dodge the charm, easier to sidestep the Q, less prone to the gank, because more movement speed, more defensive, but at the same time offensive. You get what I mean? It's like movement speed gives you safety, but at the same time it allows you to position more aggressively while going out from the play. So here, don't do codex, just do shoes plus ampton, because that will be, you need more mobility. In many games, you need just more mobility, more movement speed to survive them early, to dodge better the skill shots. So for example, I played like 2 weeks ago, Malzahar versus Veigar, and I was winning versus this guy. But what was my mistake? Even though I knew, but I told myself, am I gonna really need the boots? I said no. I went magical footwear, from what I remember. And the issue was he got me 2 times on the edge of this cage. And that was the moment I told myself, holy fuck, I should have just went for this 300 gold shoes and nothing like this would happen, So when they have those skill shots and those cages, just get shoes for 300 gold and it gets a bit easier. Because we really need mobility. Malzahar is a mobile champ. So everything is about his position in many, many cases. And here when you do this combo, you should do E, Q, W. E, Q in front because they will walk into it, then W. This way you get 3 void links. You get what I mean? You know what I mean with the number.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe just mistake sometimes happens, but normally could be done like that. For sure, vision needs work, but after today, I'm sure you will do so much better with it. So
Yeah,
right
for
now,
sure.
you crashed. Let's see what you do, because that's even more better. So the longer into the game, the better wave clear. So means the better timers you will get. Wave is here. Her wave is here. That's a lot of time. And now look, every third wave is a cannon. So if student would ask me when it is the longest time that I can do recall or rotation, I would tell him after second wave. So when the cannon is walking like this, that's your longest time. Why? Because cannon is the hardest to push and takes 8 hits from the turret. So after you crushed second wave, that's your second. How do I know? Because I see this is cannon, so it's third. So right now, this gives you the most time for anything you want to do. And this ward is really bad, my friend. Why? Because this ward would be good if you really had a wave in front of you dying, but not when you have this amount of time. You get me now, yeah? You would do this one.
Yep.
This one. Perfect. You come back to the mid then. You crashed. How many voidlings did you spawn? None, because you forgot maybe. Okay, nice. Okay, again. Vision, do you have war? Okay. Can I siege? Genuinely, we could be a bit annoying, but you know what worries me? This. So, before we would want to full completely have a lane kingdom, I would call it lane kingdom, basically bullying and having full prior, you need to ensure you have good vision. So still, if you had this, my friend, you could play whatever you want on this lane, because then it gets so much easier. Okay, I see you slow down, which is better. I thought maybe you wanna play more aggro. And this is what I mean. This game phase, when you see both receive really fast. So, again, this is time between the wave. What can I do? Well, question yourself. Wards, rotation, can you walk somewhere? Bot lane doesn't look too good. I see top is fighting. So why don't we start clicking like this? You put a ward, and then you can start walking for the cover. If you see the play doesn't make sense or is over, you come back rather like this. Or like this. Or if you see it makes sense, you finish the rotation. You get what I mean? It's basically, the argument is, the deeper this wave from your lane, the further, the more time you can do to even consider the rotation, but doesn't mean finishing it. And in short words, how to make someone so much better on silver? You need to teach the guy how to become ungankable. He needs to have some mechanics, but you need to most of the time teach them how they can become proactive. So they need to understand the wave timers. You start to get it, right? Slowly.
Yep.
Because that's already implementing this thought makes it so much just easier, just gives more. Because now you circle around, but you could just do this, maybe circle around there in this spot, then come back. Always like some kind of possibility. Okay, you shove, cool. Again, question ourselves. Do you have Leandris? No. What wave? Canon. Nice. A lot of time in that case. But no Leandris yet. So what do I do? What can I do? Vision. Then do vision. Oh, this is pretty cool replay. Actually, it shows like common mistakes that many people do, you know, and they are actually once they get fixed, it gets so much better. Here, issue. We saw him. This word was bad. We saw him there, but okay. So simple solution to what happens right now is good word, and we hover to the side of that good word, and it already gets easier. Yeah. Here the issue is there was no word because we didn't do, but another meaning we could say you put the word, so you create like a campfire that you can hover toward this side of the campfire. So there is no word, so you don't know where to hover, and that's when they should take you down. Pretty soon Leandris, from what I see. I wouldn't be surprised if you would get it. No, it's not. How much? 1.2, but you have 9. No, it's not gonna give you that much. Or will it? 180. You're pretty close to it, I think. You almost gotten it. I wonder. If you would sell the potion for 20 gold, I think you would have it in like a few seconds, you know? Because it should be 1.2. You have 2 components. And use 1000 gold if you would sell this. And this would give you 188. So it was literally like a few gold.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if I would have noticed that, I would have sold it for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. Just pointing out.
Yeah. Yep.
In this scenario, if you ask me, would I ward? No, I would be greedy, same as you. I would get this plate, then I would insta-run and ward, you know? I wouldn't miss this plate, I can tell you. I would just do one auto, but after this one auto, you ward. Good. Oh, well, okay, you go, Leandri. Cool. Cool. That's cool. Good. That's good. But now one thing. Okay. Okay, let me see then. Then you know, I wouldn't reset. I wouldn't reset, but the argument in any other situation I would reset, but I wouldn't reset if I saw my Ari is not on the lane. If she's somewhere else, then I would stay to implement the pressure more and deny more of her resources. So the moment I see her here, I cancel the reset and I get more from the mid. So I would do like a fast ward. Let's say I would do fast ward here so I can hover toward, and I would try to get as much of the mid when she's rotating. If I recall right now, then I'm not present to implement more of a pressure. So basically, she's getting Grom Timer for free, and I'm not punishing hard enough.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. No.
That makes sense.
But in any other situation, what you did was okay. Okay. Let me see how you do the void links. Always make sure that you do Q before W. This way you get 2 void links on the turret, not 1. because you do W1, but you can spawn 2. So we do Q into W, so you spawn 2. That's something really important for the sieging. 2 out of 2 words again, my friend. So right now we would want to work on the healthy vision, which will ensure that you can play the... And this is the worst word you can do. But now you understand, yeah, how bad this word is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know. So yes, this would be word, but deeper can be this one to avoid any kind of flanks. The another one, here please after the wave. And then it's perfect. This is cool. You are using... for a moment you started walking upside, which was okay. And remember, there is no rush yet. There is no rush, but maybe you assumed that there is no potential. That's okay. The thing is, this is... You could stay there. You could even destroy the plant toward this area to show them some vision before they would have a fight there. Anything. Oh, actually, you have a control word. So, about the control words, if you want to ensure your control word stays a long time, I really like this one. Here on the edge. Make sure it's on the edge. They barely check this, so you'll have always... Your bot lane will always have info about the Ahri rotating to them. If they are often... If your top laner is winning hard and you would want to give some more cover for them when your mid laner would push hard, you can just do this one. These 2 words, they stay a long while. This one usually dies quite fast, these 2. So these 2 don't take too much time. But really good one, my favorite is actually this one. I call it anti-dive, anti-rotate word, which can stay 10 minutes, sometimes 20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I would say 10 is legit. 10 is legit. On the silo at least. Okay, let's speed up a bit to see what you will be doing. Okay, actually, my friend, look. So what you did is here you received the wave. Cool. You have 1000 gold. That can be shoes. That can be sorcerers or Ionians. How should I know I can reset? You click here. Wave is there. The same for the opponent. It's canon. Can I sneak the reset? Yes, you can. So how do we identify when it's a good reset? Is because you wanna you check how far it is from the wave, from the lane, and what wave is this? It's canon. Perfect. Do you understand how you can sneak a efficient reset?
Yeah, for sure.
This is gonna be really helpful because look, you stand, but that could be reset for free, and I can guarantee you, you will make it in time to get back on the shoes to the lane.
Which boots do you think would have been best for this game?
I would do Ionian here, you know, because I would need some utility for you to self-peel yourself from the Talon, from the set later on. So Ionian shoes, okay, you know, in the theory, it's like sorcerers are really good when you know opponents are squishy and they're not gonna stack magic resist. So sorcerers would help you one-shot them with one combo. When they are more bulky, when they stack more magic resist, and generally if they have more AP champions, the higher chance they will stack MR. So Ionian versus bulky MR stackers, or when they have really scary champions, so you want to have your spells sooner, silence, WE, so you provide more utility. Sorcerers versus squishy, when you know they're not gonna buy a lot of MR, so this way you do the most, I would say, burst. Because our champion can really one-shot someone. It can, you know, depending on the advantage. So that's how I would say. This game I would do Ionian because you have Shaco. And they have some scary champions, so I would like to have your spell rotations sooner thanks to the cooldown rotation. ability haste that the Ionian gives you. And what? You have timer. You see? You have a recall. You can recall. You see that?
Yep.
It's so much time. Okay, biggest mistake of Malzahar player, not pressing W. Your W have an instant cast. And it's a sin to not press your W. It's instant. So you press it, you just tap it like a pianist, and it's gonna spawn. So you need to ensure that you spawn the voidlings, because if you was alone, the voidling are your main damage in terms of one-shotting someone. If you forget to spawn them, you lose so much. And it was just like one hit from the voidling on the poison, and this guy would be dead. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's really important. How you can practice it, you can go to the practice tool, and you can do the combos like EQWR, EQWR, for example, just for the better muscle memory. Of course, combos are gonna be different depending on the situation, but W is the minimum, because W takes 0 seconds. 0 second cast time. Your E takes like 0.5 seconds to be pressed, because he needs to raise the hand and to press it. Q as well, but W is instant. I mean, instant in terms of it doesn't slow down your champion or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so before we would finish this, you don't want a TP here, because you have unleashed TP, and this TP would be good to have it for some kind of side lane where you're gonna be away from your teammates. So right now, because mid is on the center.
Yeah, that was very informative.
So did you like the session in general?
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see the mistakes like this.
Yeah, that's great.
I want to take a second to recommend working with xblademojo, who's been a perfect coach.
I've worked with a lot of coaches over the years. xBlade is far and away one of the best.
Thanks for teaching me so much more.